I need a break. Welcome to another styling video. Today I've decided that I'm going to try Waveformers. I got these off of Amazon and there should be about 40 in this pack. They also sent these, which I've assembled and put together already. I know some people say they don't work too well, but this is what I've got, so this is what we'll do. It's currently a little bit before lunchtime, so I want to see how long it's going to take me to install these and then how long it's going to dry. I'm also curious to see what kind of result I'm going to get. I'm thinking it'll look more like what a blowout looks like, so we will have to see. I've already washed and parted my hair into these 4 sections. I did a little bit of finger detangling in the shower, but I haven't put a comb through it yet because I like to minimize the amount that I'm using combs and brushes in my hair. I do love using combs and brushes, but in moderation. If I use it too much, I feel like I'm starting to rip my hair out. I will be using the Denman paddle brush, the D38, and since I'm working in very small sections, that should help. I've got my spray bottle here, as well as the styling foaming lotion and this spray leave-in conditioner. If my hair gets really dried out, I'll use the spray bottle, but I'm thinking I can use this and then just put this straight on top. There's 10 of these in each color, and I have 4 colors, so yeah, that's 40. I don't think I'm gonna be using them all, but I'm gonna start with this first back section and see how many it takes me to complete. All right, so I also love these for clipping my hair away. Other clips just break in my hair, but these work great. Start with like how much I would use if I were doing like a twist. And then clip this out of the way. Okay. And first go ahead and detangle a little bit. It's like I said, it's a very small section, so quite easy to run the brush through. It feels very, very wet. I don't feel like I even need to put a leave-in conditioner. So I already have leave-in conditioner in my hair. That's just an extra just in case. But I'm gonna put a little bit of this foaming lotion on. Okay. And I made sure to get the really long ones because even though my hair is not super long, I didn't want to order the short ones and get caught out. From what I've seen online, what you do is you just stick the wand into the end, and then they said sometimes if you just kind of twist the root a little, it helps you to grab it. And then you put it in here, you put this up over, and you're supposed to be able to just pull down. And then that's the first one in. Okay, not bad. That went on pretty smoothly. Let's go to the next one. Again, I'm going to take another small section. And honestly, my hair has not been properly detangled since last week. I did a wash and go. And then I just went ahead and I put it in braids without actually going through and detangling it. But I've been just trying to stretch it out. But I did end up with like a bunch of knots and stuff. So that's the danger of doing that. You know what? I have seen people saying that they like to prep it by putting these in first, and I think that's what I'm going to do. So I don't have to wait in between putting the foaming lotion on and putting this through. So foaming lotion. Again, this is from Silk Elements. I really like this brand. It's been around for a long time, and it really works great. I've been using their leave-in, their deep conditioner, well, their treatment, and it's working really well. Okay, so again, just kind of twist at the root a little. Now, hook this through and pull. All right, that's the next one. I don't think I got this one far up enough, but oh well, I don't really mind if the roots have a little bit of texture. And you can see I'm definitely glad I got the long ones, because for this one, there's only like, what is this? 4 to 5 inches left here. 1, 2, 3, yeah, like 4 inches at the end here. If I'd gotten the shorter ones, my hair would have been poking out. Okay, next section. I'm just gonna, again, ooh. I feel like this is a bit too thick. There we go. And it is drying out here. I can feel it. I gotta work fast. I sprayed some leave-in in just to make it smooth. And then I'm going in with detangling. And you might be wondering why I'm starting from the roots first instead of at the ends. And it's just find it easier to do it that way, because most of the shed hairs, once you get them out from the roots, you just need to work them down. And it turns out really nicely. All right, so do a little twist. Grab the hair. Make sure I pull this right up to the root. And pull it through. Ah, that one's even lower than before, but I feel like that one didn't come out so well, but we're just gonna leave it be. This is my first time doing it, and if it doesn't 100% turn out, it doesn't 100% turn out. I'm not too fussed about it. I really am just feeling how big these sections need to be. If it feels right, then I'm going with it. So I'm just gonna stop talking now. I think you pretty much get the gist, and we're just gonna speed it up and get the rest of this section done. Okay, that is the entire back section completed, and I ended up using 7 of the 10 waveformers that I had in the yellow colors. As you can see, they went on pretty well. I did have to redo a few times just because it wasn't catching correctly in it, but not too bad. I think being in these little sections like this will help it dry pretty good. I'm gonna do the rest of these off camera, and then I'll come back when I'm on the last section and let you know how it's going. I'm almost done with these. It has been almost an hour and a half, and I'm gonna split this last one into 2 sections. I was trying to do very small sections so that hopefully it dries more quickly. So the procedure has been the same for every single one. I spray some leave-in conditioner in my hands actually, and then apply it that way. And then I comb through it. And then I add some foam. Then I twist it, put this part through, pull it through. And now I'm on to the very last one. I did have to use some of the yellow ones over here, as you can see, because I did not have enough of the blue. I made those very small sections. So this side, the sections are just a tiny bit bigger because I did not want to run out of waveformers and have to redo anything. Okay. And we finally finished. Almost. All right, last one. Twist. One more time. Hook it in. And down. Okay. An hour and about 25 minutes. Definitely not quicker than using the Revere. That is for sure, because it takes me about an hour start to finish if I use the Revere to stretch my hair. My back is hurting. I had to do a lot of like this. I had to redo it several times on some of them because the hair would get caught in this thing. And eventually I really got the twisting down. I would twist it, put it in, move it up to the root, and then pull it. But there were some of these that I had to do 2 or 3, sometimes even 4 times to really get it to work, because I'm trying not to rip out my hair as I'm doing it. These are also very, very heavy. It's kind of almost comparable, I guess, to like wearing braids as far as the weight would be. All this, you would think these feel very light, and they do. On their own, they feel extremely light, but when you add it, it feels heavy. So as long as I'm just wearing these for one day and then taking them out, I think it will be fine. But yeah, I can see how people would get traction alopecia from wearing extensions for a long time, because this is very heavy. And these have to be this direction, because if I pull them back, it starts to hurt. Now I am going to try and dry these a little bit. Oh, and this is how much hair that I lost through the detangling process. I did lose probably a comparable size, maybe slightly smaller in the shower, which is finger detangling. So imagine 2 of these put together, and that was my shed hair. It's probably some knotted hair as well, because like I said, I did a wash and go and didn't detangle till now, but overall, not too bad. You can also see that I have 3 waveformers left that I didn't use, and that makes sense because I did these in about mini twist size sections, and if I do mini twists, I usually end up with like 35 to 40 twists in my hair, and that's about the right amount. I also just took this apart and put it back. It's just an easy way to store it. They're very easy to pull apart. Sometimes when I was working on it, it pulled apart as well. I'm going to work on drying this for about 5 minutes here, and then I'm going to let it air dry for another few hours. All right, that was about 5 minutes of me drying my hair because that's all I really have the patience for. I didn't want to get this too hot and then, you know, have the plastic melt or anything like that. And I have no way of telling how dry these are after 5 minutes, but my roots still feel a little damp. So I would wager to guess if I took one out now, it would not be dry. Some parts feel dry. I mean, this part back here feels dry, but also my fingers are all wrinkly and pruny from working on this for so long. So I need a break. I need to go do something, and then I'll check back in with you in a few hours. And no matter what happens, I'm taking these out. If they're 100% dry, cool. If they're not, it is what it is. All right, it's been about 4 hours, so I am hoping these are dry. If they're not, they're not, but let's just start taking them out and see what happens. I'm going to start from the front just because I think that's going to be easier. So I pinch, and then I'm just going to pull down. A little damp still, but we're just going to let it be. And of course, the day I choose to do this is when it's raining outside. These look good though. Is that all of them? Yes, my head is free. And they came out much smoother than I thought they would. And much bouncier too. Okay, just have to clip that out of my face or else it's gonna drive me nuts. Okay. All right, not too bad. Like I said, it's still a little damp, but I am just gonna throw some heat protectant on and just blow dry it a little bit and see if that helps. I'm back. I did blow dry this a little bit. I used the Chi Thermal 44 Iron Guard Protection Spray. And then after I blow dried it, I followed up with some hairspray, also by Chi, and then blow dried it some more. So I really don't think we can call this a heatless style since I did use the blow dryer a bunch. It's going to be interesting to see if these curls fall or if they puff up because it is raining something crazy today. I just have to get dressed and style this because believe it or not, I'm still not done with the look that I want to achieve for today. I really don't know how else to describe this other than it looks to me like a very fluffy version of my wash and go. And you can see here where I have my natural color. It's quite shiny, but then when we get down to the bleach parts, it looks a little more dull. And maybe that just means I need to do some more deep conditioning treatments. But I think the two colors look nice together. Definitely need to get new highlights soon though. There's no style that you can't turn into a half up, half down. So I have a fan here, and then I have a bit coming down. I had to go off camera to finish the look because I just needed to look in the mirror, but this is where we're at. I put it in this half up, half down. We've got this at the back. I changed my earrings so they matched my hair. And look, I have this one cute little curl that missed getting put into the Waveformers, and this is where it ended up. So you can see the difference between like the big loose curls that these made, and then my tiny, tiny one ringlet curl that got left behind. And this is the back. And you can see that this is covering a little bit, but if I lift it, it actually did a pretty good job not making like a super hard part in the back here. Overall, this is a super cute look, and I'm pretty pleased with how it turned out. I think my next step is to, I don't know if I'm gonna try to brush this out or comb this out or what. Maybe just use my hands and do it, and then put it into like 2 braids and then take it out tomorrow and see what happens. So I will check back in with you at that point, but for now, this is my finished look. I'll also give you an update on how I felt about the Waveformers at that time, because I want to see how much longevity I can get out of this before I have to wash and style my hair again. I'm back as promised. It's been a few days. I had my hair in 2 braids and then a bun and then this braid. And I've really been treating my hair like it's in a blowout and not worrying too much about doing elaborate styles, just simple things. It felt really soft the first day, and then it started to feel a little bit drier as the days go on. So I'll probably be re-washing it sooner rather than later. And you can see that it still maintained this wave shape. So you can still see like some of the original waves that were in here that were created by the Waveformers, which is really interesting. They really set in. I probably could wear my hair out like this, to be honest. It looks cute, but it's just too hot. I'm gonna do something to make it feel a little cooler here. So I'm just gonna separate out kind of this side. Just kind of the front section, separate it off from the back section, because it's just too hot today. When it was raining, it was closer to about 60 degrees, but now it's humid and 70 something degrees, and that's just a lovely combination. Almost there. Just trying to get this last bit. This is always the hardest part, is parting it out the way you want it. And I want it to be relatively clean because it's easier to do if your parts are relatively clean. All right, that's a bit cleaner. We're gonna go up from the side. And it doesn't have to be even, it just has to be relatively clean. I actually am gonna take this part. Yep, okay, that's perfect. So I'm gonna put this out of the way for a minute. I just don't want to do a half up, half down today. I could, but I just don't want to. As you can see, that is one side done. I'll do the other side off camera here, and then I'll come back and show you what I'm going to do with the front. And here I am with the back section completed, the back and sides really. I've been styling the front parts of my hair separately from the back for a while now, kind of ever since I cut my bangs in, but even more when I wasn't feeling well one day and just styled just the front, and it came out really nicely, so I decided I was going to keep doing that. And sometimes I just pull everything back in a bun, but other times I really want to work on having this front section done by itself, just because I think it frames my face better. I'm gonna try this as one braid first, and if it doesn't look good, I'll undo it and do 2 braids. The other reason I like to style the front section separately is, like, look at this, right? You see, these are my baby hairs. They're very, very, very long, and they refuse to go into styles correctly. And I'm not gelling them down because, number one, I don't want oil on my face that's going to make me break out. And number two, they are very sensitive, being the hairs at my side, and they just have a tendency to pull in styles if I pull them back too tight. And I'm just trying not to do that because I don't want to have pain. I think that was a big enough section, okay? If I make the sections too small, then I have to deal with teeny tiny threads down at the bottom. And I don't want to do that because then it's harder to take out, and I think it incurs breakage. And as you can see, what I've been doing is when I get, let's say, what is this, 4 inches from the end, then I just go ahead and twist it, and that's going to be much easier to take down. My hair is in a kind of blown out state, so it remembers how my coils want to be. I'm going to do the other side. See if I can kind of part this way. And as you saw earlier, none of the parts in the back did I use, except for the main one down the middle, and I still didn't really clean that one up, but I didn't use the parting comb for any of the parts of the back because I really don't care about how the back looks. I just want the front parts to look right and roughly symmetrical. You can see I'm kind of taking like vertical slices here and then just trying to braid it kind of straight out from my head more, and then bring it down. And I know there's other ways to braid, like overhand, underhand. I don't have that technique down yet. And when it gets a little thin, if I'm not quite ready, I'm just going to grab this and keep going. And I didn't put any oil or product on my hair to do these braids because I had already put enough product in with the setting lotion and the hairspray and the heat protectant once I did this for the first time. And then I put a little bit of oil in before I had braided it up into that big braid that you saw. Okay, looking good so far. And I'm going to split this part into 3 braids. And I think I'm going to do, let's see, kind of a wedge shape there and a wedge shape here. So that's going to give me volume and get each of the braids to be pretty big. Plus, I hate having a middle part. So if I'm going to do braids or twists or anything like this, that's one of the reasons I like to style the front separately as well, so I can control what I want to do with that part. And I have gone ahead and separated into 3 like this here. We're almost there. I'm going to start by braiding it straight up. So here we go. Just straight up. And I always take the time to just kind of make these first 3 braids like really tight. When I say really tight, not like painfully tight, but just not loose either. And then I can bring it down. So as you can see, now I can put this here. I can flip it over to this side. I can flip it back. I can flip it forward. So that is the advantage of braiding straight up. And if you see it's kind of a little bit kind of sticking like this, all I have to do is take a bobby pin and press it down, and then we're good. Woo! I would have preferred to use the Rev Air and then put braids in, just because it took me so long to put the Waveformers in. I really don't feel like it was worth it. But I definitely like putting these braids in on blow dried hair versus doing it from wet, because otherwise it would shrink and just sit on my shoulders. And this is kind of fun to have like the long braids look. So the next time I get braids though, I'm probably just going to do it from wet, because I can put gel in it and it will elongate it a little bit. I don't like to do too many styles in dry hair because I just feel like the ends, again being bleached, are very, very fragile, and I don't want them to come off. Also, I'm thinking of doing a look similar to this, but with twists at some point. So if I do, I'll try to film that and see how it goes. But overall, yay, I'm so happy to have braids. I love curly styles so much, and I think they frame my face really well, and I don't love how I look with super straight hair. I love how the hairstyles with straight hair looks. I think that's super fun, and you can go back on my channel and see some of the styles I did over the holidays, but it makes my face look weird, and I don't like it. But with the braids, even though they're straight down, there's just something about them that's just like, oh, this is so much fun. And these are long enough that I can put them in a ponytail. I could put the low pony for now. I can put them in a high pony later. I can do my favorite, half up, half down. I can just wear them just as is, which is probably what I'm gonna do today. And I could braid these together and make braid styles. There's just so much you can do. And I made these big enough so that, like I said, they're not going to be too hard to undo on the ends, because really, really tiny braids are not good from the ends of my hair. I feel like I have to really end up cutting a lot because of the way it just kind of takes out my ends, which, again, that's due to the bleach. If you have healthy hair, you'll probably be fine. But that's the life I chose to live when I chose to get color in my hair. And so I am fully okay with that. Like I said, I was treating the Waveformers as kind of like a blowout, and I think it basically achieved that. Probably would have gotten a better result with them if I had waited till they were fully dry, but I just didn't have the time that day. I did not want to sleep with them overnight, and I did not want to sit under my hooded dryer because it's way too loud, and frankly, it's boring to sit under the hooded dryer. At least with the Waveformers, I could do other things and get on with my day. Overall, I really liked using the Waveformers. They were super fun. And it was a novel experience, something new. I'll keep them for sure. And then maybe if I do a day where I just kind of like style the bottom, sometimes I'll do that. I'll do a half up, put a bun, and then just blow out the bottom of my hair. Maybe I'll just use Waveformers for that, because it wouldn't take as long to put them in like the bottom half of my hair versus putting them at the top. I also like how very soft they felt when they dried. I think that combination of products was very good. I also thought it was neat how my curls really held that wave pattern for a long time, and I don't know if that is because of just the Waveformers themselves or the fact that I put hairspray in it, because that could have helped them hold, plus the setting lotion. And I don't think I would have had any hold at all if I hadn't put the setting lotion in. That setting lotion is pretty good. I didn't like how long it took. Like I said, it would definitely have been easier to use my Rev Air and get a smoother result for then putting in braids or whatever I wanted to do. But overall, it was fun, and I will definitely keep them for something I can do in the future. Show you what this looks like from the back. And I am gonna get some accessories and be right back. And here's my final look. I just added some hoops and my necklace just for a little extra effect, kind of playing up the gold that I'm wearing. And that's it. I am done for today. Like I said, I'm just gonna wear these down, and I can throw them back and just kind of have these in the front here as well. And this is just gonna keep my head so much cooler for today. I think I'm gonna try and keep these until the end of the week for sure. Maybe a whole week from now, depending on how my scalp is feeling. I might just have to only wash my scalp and let the water come in my braids and be wet, because I do that anyway if I've done braids, and just dry them again so that they kind of stay stretched. I don't have a ton of product in here, so I could probably use the Rev Air to dry them now that they're already braided. But this is the end of this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.